I'm sharing.
This meeting is being recorded.
And California is a two-party state, so if you don't want to be recorded, we ask that you leave the meeting. So, can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Yes,
Okay, so today we're going to talk about planning the play of a no trump hand. We've learned a lot. We've gone over a lot. We've learned how to promote honors. That's kind of a brute force thing. You know, you have king, queen, jack, you play the king, they take the ace, your other two are good. That is part of your reptilian brain for bridge. We learned that length takes tricks. We learned something about positional advantage, you know, playing fourth to a trick. If you have the king, you're going to take a trick because either it's going to come around and your king will take it, or somebody plays the ace and now your king is good. And we learned about finesses, and we learned how to look for the jaws like the ace queen or the king jack that's ready to capture the opponent card. And we learned about leading toward an unsupported honor. So we've learned all these tools and we've been using them together on hands. And today we're going to make a plan. And I couldn't find an image of the guy who was our safari driver the first time we went to Africa. And he would, every morning he would say, "What do you want to see?" And we'd say, and he'd say, "Let's make a plan." So I wanted to show Colbert's picture, but I couldn't find it. So first of all, don't be scared of playing no trump contracts. Everybody's scared of playing no trump contracts, particularly one no trump. And this was 3 consecutive hands that Dana and I played as East-West. And now that some of you have played duplicate, you know that you get scored on a percentile basis versus the other people who played the exact same hands, held the exact same cards. These were our percentiles in 3 consecutive one no trump contracts. We did nothing brilliant. In this case, no trump was the best contract, but many people played in a suit. In this one, the defense gave us an extra trick. And in this one, the defense gave us 2 extra tricks. And if you pull down the PDF of this presentation, these are live links that will take you to the stored versions of those hands. And you may wonder about my bidding on hand 2, but you know, on the first one, but don't worry about it. So here's the secret. It's much harder to defend a one no trump contract than to be the declarer. You'll come to appreciate this over time. So the next time you're nervous as the declarer of one no trump, just be glad you're not the defender. Okie doke. One of the things I think we've learned, but I thought I should put a slide up here, says don't shoot off your winners in a no trump contract. So let's take a look at these 2 hands and imagine it's 3 no trump by South and you get the lead of the 3 of hearts. So you have 7 immediate winners. This ace king, this ace king, this ace king, and this ace. You have 7 immediate winners. What's going to happen if you just take all those winners?
You'll be done.
They'll take the rest of the tricks, right? I mean, maybe the queen of clubs falls and your jack 10 become good, but that's unlikely. So the message here is don't shoot off your winners. And what we're going to do today is learn to count the tricks we can take immediately, in this case 7, and then ask ourselves the musical question, how many more do we need? And where can we get them? And this is just the pattern. So we're gonna see these questions many, many times today. So this is the same hand, same hands. How do we feel about that contract?
Looks good.
Looks good. Yeah, we're, as they said in Trading Places. By the way, it's funny when you watch an older movie like that and you realize, oh my God, you couldn't say those things today. But in this, as we just saw, you can take 7 immediate tricks. And now let's look at the club suit. We need 2 more tricks, but look at the club suit. It probably splits 3-3 or 4-2. And we have the ace, king, jack 10 to play on the first 4 rounds. So let's just play the ace, king, and then we'll go over to dummy. And we'll play the jack and force out the queen. And that'll establish the 10 as a trick. And if clubs break, we'll still have one more. So we will have developed 2 club tricks. Questions or comments about that? Okay. So the message here, and we've talked about this before, you can establish tricks in a long suit. And it's okay to give up tricks early in order to take more later. That's a hugely important theme. And thinking of positional advantage, which I like to remind people of, suppose the opening lead had been the 2 of diamonds instead of the 3 of hearts. We would be guaranteed a second trick in diamonds, because we would play low from dummy. And if this person played low, we'd win the queen.
Mhm.
And if this person played the king, we'd win the queen later. So again, the whole idea of positional advantage is just huge. You're really important. Okie doke. How do we feel about this contract? 3 no trump by South.
Pretty good. You have you have 3 good stoppers and they're pretty good.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I can take 9 tricks right away. I mean, the diamonds are probably going to break. They're not going to be 5-0 or 6-0 or 5-1. So I'm going to take 5 diamond tricks and take 3 heart tricks and the ace of clubs. I got 9 tricks. Am I
No,
worried?
can you just quickly talk about they're not gonna break and what you
Ah.
mean?
Okay, what I mean. So let's look at the diamond suit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means they have 6 of them. So the cards in their hand could be split or could break. The 6 cards could be 3-3. They could be 4-2 on either side. They could be 5-1. They could be 6-0. It's kind of like tossing a coin. If you toss a coin 6 times, do you think you're going to get 6 heads? It's possible, but it's unlikely. Do you think you're going to get 5 heads? It's possible, but it's unlikely. If you toss a coin 6 times, you're probably going to get 3 heads and 3 tails, or 4 heads and 2 tails, or 4 tails and 2 heads. And really what we're doing, if we were dealing out the remaining diamonds, is the first one goes randomly on one side or the other. The second one goes randomly on one side or the other. It's just like tossing a coin 6 times. So we talk about the suit breaking or splitting or dividing. I'll usually say break. But the idea here is they have 6 of them. After we play our ace, king, queen, jack, all their diamonds will probably be gone. And then our 7 of diamonds will be good because it's the only one. Does that answer the question, Deborah?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Super. Okay, so we counted 9 winners. Are we worried about the spade suit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I
a
am.
little, but not really. I mean, suppose this person leads the 6 and this person plays a little one. Well, then we take the jack. So maybe this person takes the ace. And then maybe, they want to return partner suit. Maybe you had the ace queen and another one. So they take the ace, then they play the queen, and then they lead a third one. And he'll take the king, but now our 10 is good. So if we're just kind of passive here, this is a remarkably strong holding. It doesn't look like it at first, but it is. It's very hard for them to take more than their ace, king, queen. So sometimes the opponents help you. They could even turn your 10 of spades into a trick. And that's one of the reasons that defending 1 no trump is harder than declaring it, or defending no trump in general. And it's often very hard for the opponents to attack a suit, even when you have as little as this holding. So these were kind of sidetracks. Let's dive in. So you're the declarer in no trump. Here's what you want to do. Count the tricks you can take immediately, and then look for ways to take more. And what tools have we learned to take more tricks?
Long suits,
Promotion. Finesse.
Finesse.
long suits.
Bingo. You guys know it all. Establish, promote, set up your honor cards, establish long suits, take finesses. Card play is a hoot. And as our friends reminded us, I think last week, you've been doing this for 4 weeks. It's not a big deal. We can relax. So what we'll do today is we'll look at 2 straightforward hands. I guess we already did look at 2 straightforward hands. We'll look at one hand that requires some care with entries. We'll look at a hand that's really fun. And has anybody heard of the term hold up play by declarer?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
We'll look at one hand that requires a hold up play. It was one of the things that my mom taught me in the 60s. So here's example hand 1, and we're not doing bidding yet, but I thought I might as well talk us through the bidding conversation just briefly. So let's imagine South is the dealer. And when we learn to count points, aces are 4, kings are 3, queens are 2, jacks are 1, 4, 7, 10, 12, 16. South's hand is in the range of 15 to 17 and it's balanced. And so South will open 1 no trump. And North will add up 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And knows that they've got at least 25 and knows that with 25 and a couple of balanced hands, you can usually make 3 no. So North will just bid 3 no. And that's where they'll play it. And again, we'll talk a lot about bidding starting in a few weeks. Actually, in several weeks, because we have to do defense first. So suppose we get the opening lead of the 7 of hearts. So what do we want to do? Count the tricks we can take immediately. How many tricks can we take immediately if we chose to?
5.
5.
5. Yeah, we can take 5. The ace of spades, the ace king of hearts, and the ace king of diamonds. How many more do we need?
4.
4 more.
4. So where could we look for them?
Clubs.
Clubs. Absolutely. If we knock out the ace of clubs, we'll create 3 club tricks. It's 100% guaranteed. So now we're up to 8. Where could we get another trick? Maybe.
Spades.
Spades. We look at dummy and we see the jaws. We see the ace queen jaws. We don't have a long suit to set up other than clubs, but we could try a finesse in spades. We're going to hope, and again, a finesse is a hope. We're going to hope that the ace of spades is sitting over here on the left in West.
King.
And we're going to lead a small spade toward the jaws, planning to play the queen. And if the king is over here, then because of the positional advantage that we have, the queen will hold the trick. And it's about a 50-50 proposition, whether the king is on one side or the other. So if the king is over on the left,
Down and see what you look like. Did
if
the other guy beat you up or something? You didn't want to show your face to him?
This is what I'm talking about.
I
Will
didn't see you.
somebody please mute
I
themselves?
thought you were avoiding.
Who has a husband
I
that's talking?
think it's probably an accident. I can't get to the
It's
console.
okay now. It's okay now.
Okay,
It's not
great.
only me, it's somebody else, Kate
Yeah,
Cunningham.
yeah, I think everybody's,
People are coughing and we don't know what you're saying, so it's not just me.
no, I understand that. Yeah, usually I have the view of the people and I can see the one light up that's making noise. Now I can see it. So anyway, the king of spades may be on the left or it may be on the right. If it's on the left, we're going to make 3 no trump. And if it's on the right, we're going to go down. And if we go down, there's always another hand. And if we make it, there's always another hand. And the nice thing about duplicate is that if the king is on the wrong side, it happened to everybody in the place, right? It's not we did something wrong. Okay, hand 2. Same bidding conversation. South has 4, 6, 9, 13, 17 high card points. and a balanced hand. So south bids a no trump. And again, we'll talk about this in a few weeks. And north has 4, 7, 10, 11, and a balanced hand. So north knows we should be in 3-no, and so north just bids it. North doesn't putter around by bidding 2 no trump and asking, hey, partner, do you think we should go? She who knows goes, and north knows, so north goes. So we get the opening lead again of the 7 of hearts. So how many tricks can we take immediately?
6, no,
7.
7.
7, yeah, 7. Oh, and by the way, somebody said something earlier about, get this hand, I didn't know what to do. In the very first session in New Orleans, there were 2 different people, very good players, who at the end of the auction said to us at the table, I had no idea how to bid this hand. So anyway, we can take 7 tricks. We got a spade and ace, king, ace, king, ace, king. Where can we look for more tricks?
Spades.
Spades sounds like a good idea. How would we want to attack spades?
You could try a finesse.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we could do is we could just give up the king, right? Just lead a little one and give up the king, or play the ace and then give up the king. We create 2 tricks, right? Because we have the jack 10, 9 to cover these. But we want to be greedy, right? So a better idea is we're going to hope that the king is in ease. And we're going to take this trick in dummy. And we're going to lead the jack of spades, planning to let it ride.
Oh,
And if it works, we'll lead the 10 and do it again. And if it works, we'll lead the 9 and do it again. So there's a 50-50 chance that we end up with 4 tricks in spades instead of 3. So we're guaranteed to make the contract, 7 tricks plus 2 additional spade tricks. And maybe we take 10 tricks, who knows? Questions, comments? Okie doke. Actually, if we're really sneaky and we win the ace of hearts and the spade finesse works and the spade finesse works and the spade finesse works, the next thing we do is we lead a low diamond and play low. And they take it, but when we get back in, we play the ace king, and if they split 3-3, we get another trick. But that's in intermediate land. So, okay, I changed the spade suit just a little bit. Same hand otherwise, so we're still going to take the spade finesse. What spade should we play first from north? We have so many entries, it doesn't really matter. But a good habit to build is, let's lead the 9. Because the queen, jack, 10, 9, they're all the same, right?
Mhm.
So let's lead the 9 and we'll let it ride. We'll play the 2 from south. And the reason we like that is that after the 9 wins the trick, where are we? We're in dummy. And now we can lead the jack. And if this person doesn't pop up with the king, we'll throw the 10 under it. And when it wins, we're still in dummy. And then finally, we'll lead our 3 toward the jaws. So this is something that will become a habit over time. When you see identical cards like that, you'll say to yourself, gosh, if I lead the 9 and it wins, I'm still over here. And now I can lead the jack and I'll still be over there.
Phil,
Yeah,
in this situation that you're talking about here,
yep.
where you play the 3, they don't throw out the king,
At
you
the
go
end.
around.
Yeah. I'm gonna lead the 9 first.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But when this would be if you're playing with people who really know what you're doing, as opposed to like a beginner who will automatically, oh my God, I have a chance, I'll throw out the king.
Now, actually, it doesn't matter. That's a really good point, but it doesn't matter. We've got so much power in the spade suit that either the king is over here or it's on the left. And if it's on the left, we're going to lose to it. And if it's on the right, we got it trapped. And it doesn't matter if it's Bob Hammond sitting over here. If he plays the 9 on, if he plays the king on the 9, now I've got the jack to cover the 2.
Okay.
If he waits and plays the king on the jack, I've still got the ace, queen, 10. That's a great question. And, you know, these presentations are only as good as the questions. So thank you. So it'll kind of become habit to look at a situation like this and say, gosh, I'd like to stay in dummy. So I'll start with the 9 and get rid of this little one. And then I'll play the jack and I'll get rid of the 10. And then I'll have the 3 to lead up to my jaws. We cool with that? And in this particular case, if you led the 3 to the queen and it held the trick, you'd be okay because you have a ton of entries to get back to dummy to do it again. Here's a fun one. So let's do the bidding conversation. South has 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and a balanced hand. So South is going to bid 1 no trump. Does anybody feel queasy about opening 1 no trump with these 2 little diamonds?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
I'll give you a suggestion. Take some Zantac or whatever. If back in the day, like when my mom taught, it was like, well, you open 1 no trump if you have X number of points and you have every suit stop. Well, what that means is you like never open 1 no trump. Because you never have every suit stopped. And 1 no trump is the world's most wonderful opening bid. It's so descriptive. It's at a high enough level. The next person can't bid at the 1 level. The bad guys can't bid at the 1 level. It's a wonderful thing. So don't worry about this. By the way, I have a hard time with, 4, 8, 11, 15. Wait, 4, 8, 11, 13, 15, 16. I always count the points at least twice. And the first time I count, I try to do it with combinations because that's easier for me. I just look at the ace, king, queen, jack, and I think, oh, I know that's 10, 12, 16. And then I double check. And sometimes we make mistakes. My wife had a 19-point hand. She opened 1 no trump. We ended in 1 no trump, got a terrible score. That's life. That happens. So anyway, South will open 1 no trump, and now North has 3, 6, 9, 10 points. So North knows we got enough to play in 3 no, so North doesn't piddle around. North has no interest in bidding a diamond suit. If we have a good minor suit, we want to play in no trump because we get more points for the same tricks. So North happily bids 3 no. North's hand is actually a fabulous hand.
Mhm.
This is really worth way more than 10 points. Look at the diamond suit.
Mhm.
So we get the opening lead of the queen of spades. And we ask ourselves the musical questions. How many tricks can we take immediately?
5.
5. We got 2 spade tricks and 3 heart tricks. Where can we get more?
Diamonds.
Diamonds. How many?
Yeah.
Maybe 5.
There ain't no maybe about it.
5
Knock
it
out
is.
the ace of diamonds, and with absolute 100% certainty, we will create 5 diamond tricks. Absolute 100% certainty.
As long as we have the lead and we're on the board.
Yes, as long as we have the lead and we're on the board. Anything to be careful about?
Clubs.
Get and run in clubs.
Keeping
Yeah,
the
well,
king
well-
of spade on the,
Don't take the queen with the king on the board.
Don't take the queen with the king. So first of all, the club suit, yeah, they could take the ace, king of clubs, but we'd be good after that. That wouldn't really hurt us. Here's the risk. If you take the first trick with the king of spades and start on the diamonds, what if they let you keep the first one and then they take the second one with the ace? You don't have any diamonds left in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any way to get to dummy.
Oh,
That would be disappointing.
Mhm.
You know how you learn to manage the entries like this? You do it wrong. And then you sit there looking at those good diamonds in dummy with tears running down your cheeks. And you do it a few times. And then eventually it becomes natural. So we want to take the opening lead in our hand with the ace and save the king to get back to dummy. So we're going to win the ace of spades and we're going to immediately start on diamonds. And we're just going to keep playing diamonds until they take their ace.
Mhm.
And then they're going to lead something. Yeah, maybe they take the ace king of clubs, but they're going to lead something and we're going to get back in and we're going to go over to the king of spades in dummy and take the rest of our diamonds. And they're going to have the tears running down their cheeks. And again, we goof things like this up. And then we say, wow, I could have done it differently. And that's the only way that I learn. I played a hand in 3-note trump a little while ago in person, and I took a suboptimal line of play that happened to work, and I made it. I got a good score. After the hand, when the other two people left the table, one of the guys sitting there said, "May I make a comment about your play of that hand?" And I said, "Yes." And he told me a better way to play the hand. And it was just like, oh my God, that's so obvious. And so, maybe if I see that same situation again, I'll remember. Funny thing about it is when I first met that guy a couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, I thought he was kind of a jerk. And he plays on Wednesday nights with a partner named Ed Barlow, who is an ungodly, brilliant bridge player. He's in his late 80s. He's the quietest, sweetest man in the world. And so last time I was there, I said to Ed, gee, Ron, over the weekend, I played at Ron's table and after a hand, he said, may I make a comment? And I told him the story and Ed smiled and Ed said, I suggested to him that he ask if he can make a comment because he used to just say it. So anyway, so here's a fun one. Okay,
So can I ask a question about the hand we just did?
of course.
Me too.
Let's pretend for one moment that North has the 15 points and those diamonds.
Yep.
6 diamonds. Would they automatically go to 1-note trump, or would they bid the diamonds because there's 6 of them?
Deborah, do you want to answer and then I'll answer?
I'm sorry, I was answering.
That's okay.
Shelley's
So
question.
here's my answer. Until about 3 or 4 years ago, I would have bid the diamond suit. And then one time I was on defense and some guy had opened 1-note trump and he ended up running 6 club tricks on us.
Right.
And I thought, that's something I would like to do to somebody else. So when we talk about 1-note trump openers, I will mention that sometimes, even if it's a little off shape, you might still open 1-note trump.
Bill,
But that's
Because you don't
more
have enough
intermediate.
points.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, I had a question too.
Yes.
Like on this one, after she leads when you go to diamonds, would you lead the jack and do that ride thing?
Well, let's see. So that we're gonna, let me see if I can find that whole that wonderful annotation.
It's in the bottom.
Yeah, my computer's.
I can see it on your computer,
On you.
bottom left. The little green arrow.
Okay, so we get the lead of the queen of spades and we play small. And they play something and we take it.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna start on diamonds. And all these cards in dummy are the same
Because,
because
sequence.
there's nothing in between them,
See,
right? They're consecutive. So the bad guys have the ace and they have the 7. But all these cards are basically the same value. If I play the 8, they can only take it with the ace. Right? If I play the king, they can only take it with the ace. Does that answer your question?
So you would probably start with the 8. I don't know.
I would start with the 8.
Uh-huh.
And you know why? Because if I start with the king and then maybe the queen and they take their ace, I look at the board and I go, shit, is the jack 10 and 9
Right.
8 good? Pardon my language. But that's what I would think at the table. So if I start with the 8, I'm always looking at the big ones.
Right.
But that's a hardest thing for me in bridge is managing my memory,
Yeah.
which gets smaller every week. And so I do a lot of little things like this that reduce the memory load that I have. So I play to the 8, they don't take the ace, I play the 9. Maybe now they take the ace. Now they lead a spade. And I win it in dummy. And now I take my diamonds. Boom, 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 boom. Was that a helpful answer?
Yes, thank you.
All
so
right.
Phil,
Yes.
while you were gone, we had a hand similar to this. And I think it was Trish raised the very excellent point that normally we win first with the high card from the shorter side.
Short side, yeah.
Yeah.
And this time, no, not the case. And
Yeah.
I thought it was really great that you recognize that, Trish, but also
Yeah.
that just notice that.
Yes. So it is excellent that you noticed that. And ordinarily you win from the high card from the short side. Like if suppose that this was the queen instead of the 3, and suppose this lead was the jack. Okay. With this particular layout, we still need the king as an entry. But if the rest of the hand was really different, what we'd want to do is win the king first, and then we could lead small over to the queen, and then we'd be over here so we could take the ace. So that's why we play small, play high from the short side usually. I think of it as getting the king out of the way. So if I had the ace queen over here, I'd want to get the king out of the way so I could come over to my longer side.
But not in this case where you need the king as an entry.
Exactly.
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 And also somebody mentioned that could you, if you were at the north side, you could say 1 no trump instead of 1 diamond, but there's not enough points to do that.
No, that was a hypothetical if
Okay.
the north hand was much stronger.
Okay, yeah. we have
So
to have
we'll talk about
15
that when
points.
we talk about 1 no trump openers. We'll talk about it for about 5 seconds, but we'll.
Okay. Okay.
So here's a fun one. So South has 7, 7, 7. South has 21 points balanced. Too strong to open 1 no trump. But as we'll see in a few weeks, it's strong enough to bid 2 no trump. That says, partner, I have 20 or 21 balanced. And North has 7. So North says, we got enough for game. I want to be in no trump. I'll just bid it. So musical question. How many tricks can we take immediately?
8.
8. Ace, king, ace, king, ace, king, ace, king. Where could we develop more tricks?
Diamonds.
diamonds. And again, this is the pattern, right? We want to count the tricks we can take immediately and look for ways to take more tricks.
And I just have to say that last night, excuse me, people didn't do that. It was amazing. The minute the opening lead came down, people would play. The declare would call for the card from the dummy.
Yeah.
And we're sticklers about that around here. So I'm hoping that you all noticed that played in real life last night and thought, oh, that's not how we play.
Yeah. Yeah. When dummy comes down, declarer makes a plan. Making a plan requires thinking. Thinking requires time. Ergo, you don't play right away from dummy. Many
And
years
you
ago.
don't get embarrassed that they think you're slow.
Oh,
In
no.
fact-
In fact, it's the opposite.
Exactly.
I taught my lovely wife, Dana, to think before she plays from dummy. And like the second time we go to play duplicate, not that first time, but like the second time we go to play duplicate, she's declarer, dummy comes down, opening lead comes out, dummy comes down, and she thinks. And somebody on the other team says, I know you're a good player because you're stopping to think.
Mhm.
It's like her second time ever playing duplicate. So among other things, you can fool them. So we want to make a plan, just like Colbert. I don't see any honor cards to set up. Do we see any long suits to set up?
Yeah.
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. And the diamonds will probably split 3-2. We have 8, they have 5. They're most likely to go 3-2. And so after the first 3 rounds, dummy will be the only one who has any diamonds. And those 2 diamonds will be good.
If you can be on the board.
If you can be on the board. Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
You could be not capable of getting to the board.
Yes, if you take, I guarantee, just me and the guy from whatever that clothing store was, I guarantee that if
Men's
you,
Warehouse.
yeah, Men's Warehouse, I guarantee that if you play small to the king and then you play the ace,
Tough.
they've still got one.
Mhm.
And when you play another one and they take it,
School's out.
school's out, you're up a creek, right? You can never get back to dummy. Any ideas?
Don't play the king.
Deliberately
Yeah.
duck the first one. Play
Duck
small
the
on both
first
sides.
one. This is so much fun. After cashing the ace and king, you wouldn't be able to get back to dummy. So the solution is you have to lose a trick anyway.
Yes, so do that in the beginning.
Somehow I still got the annotation thing on.
Ruining the PowerPoint.
Come on, you silly goose. And my
Thanks,
PowerPoint
little
is
Janie.
broken. There, good, it stopped.
No,
So
Did it?
lose the
Hooray.
first diamond trick.
Yeah.
Play small from both sides. And then when you play the ace king, you'll capture all the ones they have left. So let me show that one because this is so much fun. So we play small, small. And they've used up 2. They have 5, they have 3 left. We get back in, we play small to the king. They've played 2 more, they only have 1 left. Now we play the ace. And that takes their last one. And our 7's good and our 6 is good, and we're in dummy. Isn't that fun?
Yes,
But if they split 4-1,
You're in trouble.
If they split 4-1, you're up a creek, but so is everybody in the bridge club.
oh, okay.
Life goes on.
because they're all playing the same hands.
In fact, if you had $10,000 riding on whether or not you make this contract, play low twice. Give up
Oh.
2 tricks.
Mhm.
And then if they go 4-1, your 5th one will be good.
Well, the thing is, you could go low, low, and then play the ace, and if one of the sides is out, then you can know that you need to go low, low again, and then your king will be good, will take the last trick.
Yeah, the only problem there is by the time you've played low, low and ace low and low, low, you're out. But that's a great idea.
Okay,
It's a
Yeah, you're
great,
right, you're
great
right.
idea. So bonus points if you thought this is really just another problem of managing entries. Because that's really what it is. You have 2 entries to dummy. And what do you do with them? So this is kind of oh, by the way, on that last hand, how many of you think that this is just something that some crazy bridge teacher made up? And it'll never
No.
happen in real life.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, how likely are you to have a situation like this where your only way to get to dummy is in your long suit and you have to play low and then low to make it work?
No,
Did
I've seen it on Bridge Base a lot, and they
Absolutely. One of the recent times Dana and I played at the local club, somebody had this situation. We were the defenders. And I'm looking at dummy going, uh-oh, low, low, and we're dead. And she cashed the ace king and led another one and then cried when she looked at her 6-5 that she could never take it.
Yeah.
So it does happen. Am I still scribbling? I don't think so.
Yeah, you didn't erase it.
Yeah, okay. So this one's kind of advanced beginner. And it's a really important concept, and then I will probably be done. And again, the bidding is 17 high card points, 1 no trump. This time North has 9. So North doesn't know. 9 and 15 is 24, probably not enough. So North bids 2 no trump, which is an invitation. And it says, partner, I'd like to play 3 unless you're minimum. And South has 17, so South happily continues, accepts the invitation. So we get the lead of the 7 of hearts. How many tricks can we take immediately?
6.
6.
6. Ace, king of spades, ace of hearts, ace, king, queen of clubs. How could we get more tricks? Well, if we knock out, look at the diamond suit. If we knock out the ace of diamonds, we'll create 4 tricks. 100%. Could anything go wrong?
Sorry, can I back up and just ask a question? I thought
Of
if we
course.
only had 2 clubs, we could only count 2 winners in clubs.
Oh, that's a really good point. I'm going to turn my annotation back on. Okay. Suppose I win the first one. I'm not going to play the hand this way, but suppose I won the first trick. I would start the clubs with high from the short side.
Hello.
And then I would lead over and win in dummy. And now I've gotten the ace out of the way. Now I'm where I want to be. I take the king and I throw away some piece of junk.
Thank you.
Is that helpful? Great question.
Very good.
Great question. So could anything go wrong? They let a heart.
Yeah, we have a problem in hearts.
Yeah, how many hearts do they have?
They have a
They have
7,
8.
8.
They have
8.
8. So they might break 4-4. They're actually a little more likely to go something like 5-3.
Right.
And if they go 5-3, then we win the ace, we lose the ace of diamonds, and then whoever has 4 hearts remaining is going to take 4 heart tricks and we're going to go down. What could we do?
slough off your little hearts.
Gotta hold back that ace of hearts.
We'll hold up.
Your whole heart.
And so the idea is what we'll do is, I'm just going to say it here and then I'll show it on the next slide. Don't take the ace of hearts immediately. Wait. Let them take 2 heart tricks and then take your ace. And on the next slide, we'll see what happens. So this one's actually, I don't have to use the annotator on this one. So this is what happens in action. So we got the 7 of hearts opening lead. That person had a 5-card heart suit. The risk is if we take the ace and then we give up a diamond, they're going to continue attacking hearts, and they're going to take 4 heart tricks plus the ace of diamonds, and we're going to be down. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through it card by card. They lead the 7 of hearts. We play small. East plays the king, and we play small. They've got a trick. We don't. East, like a good partner, is going to continue partner's suit. With 2 of them like this, East knows that it's most advantageous to continue with the jack. And we're going to play low. And West is going to play, and Dummy's going to play. And now East, like a good partner, is going to continue partner's suit with the 5. And now we'll take our ace. And we'll throw away a little club, never get a trick out of that. Now we start on diamonds, and we have our fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Who had the ace?
East.
East. Can East lead a heart?
No.
No. East has run out of hearts. East has to lead something we can take. And we dodged the bullet. This is called the hold-up play. When you have this kind of a situation and you're wide open in a suit, you hold up a little bit and hope that you cut their communication. If the ace of diamonds had been over here, we would have been dead. But so would everybody else in the room. So that's a fun one, huh? And you might have one of those today.
Yeah.
All right, so here are the key points. Count the tricks you can take immediately, but don't take them immediately. Look for ways to take more tricks, and you guys provided the text for that earlier. And then consider, is there anything about entries, like that King Doubleton of Spades? Do you need the King of Spades as an entry? And think about, do you need to hold up a trick 1? Doesn't happen all the time, but it's something to have in the back of your mind. And one of the many things that my mom said was, no trump is a race. Each side is trying to establish their tricks. The defense gets to go first, and they usually lead their best suit. And they're hoping to set up tricks in their suit. And you as declarer, you have some tricks you can take immediately, but you usually need some more. And so you usually have to give up, you often have to give up the lead to take more tricks. So it's just a question of who's going to be able to establish their long suit or their tricks first. You want to establish your tricks before they establish theirs. So again, you count your immediate winners. How many more do you need? Where can you find them? And we spent the first 4 weeks talking about tools for finding them. And there we have it. There's some homework on Bridge Master. And what I'm going to do is copy paste the homework into the chat.
Oh, beautiful.
Now, what do you think of that?
I love it, Phil.
Yeah, after
I forgot to assign it last week. And we found that it's a really kind of cool thing to review it because they're always hard on Saturday.
Yeah. So I have a couple of hints in here. And so what we'll do today is the usual thing. The hands are already bid. We'll go to the coaches' rooms. We're not going to worry about the bidding. We're going to talk about bidding in week 12. Start talking about it. And again, the whole problem is that people start talking about bidding too early, and then they spend the rest of their lives talking about bidding. And I know plenty of people who bid really well and get to good contracts and then can't make them because they don't have enough experience in card play. So card play is really important. So we'll do the usual drill in the coaches' rooms, and that's that.